and I'm feeling like One-on-one TKO Radio. Happy Friday. I'm back in the lab. I don't know if you guys can hear in my voice, but I hope that I sound a lot happier, a lot more peaceful because I am super excited. It has been an interesting week for me. I'm sure it's been an interesting week for you, but even more so, it's been an interesting week in Georgia weather. There were reports of hail last night in some places. It's still hot and cold at the same damn time. Not really sure what to do at this point. When I walked out the house today, I started with the full coat, and now I have on a long sleeve shirt and some jeans. But in between earlier, it was hot, so I don't know what Georgia is doing, but we gonna hang in there. Listen, in other news, of course, we have a abnormal Friday show. Normally I'm on Thursdays and Sundays and things like that, but you got to pay the bills. So we have a special show coming in. I'm super excited. Tina B.A.T.L. from The Shell of a Man, awesome playwright, model, entrepreneur, major pillar in the media community. She has a TikTok series as well. I'm super excited to sit down with her and some of the cast members to talk about what they have coming up. The stage play is doing its big one, so I'm very excited about that. And of course, we got some upgrades going on at the station. Shout out to Johnny Cabell. I know he's somewhere running around making moves, but they went shopping, y'all, this week. Him and Nelly went shopping this week. And that's when I realized I am probably that parent. I was tripping because I was like, they spent this much money. But then when I sat back and thought about it, I was like, I think that's what business owners do. We question like what you spend the money on. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Like if I wouldn't have been concerned about it, I would probably be worried about me. But I think I'm supposed to ask those questions. Also, want to give a special shout out to all my people that have been hard at working that 9 to 5 life. Listen, I watch a lot of different TikTok little clips and things like that, and there is a lot of conversation around people with 9 to 5 jobs and how people don't really understand the mental strain and anguish that it can put you through having a mental job, especially call centers. And I want to shout out to everybody that works at a call center. I'm praying for you because it is not easy. Sometimes people think just because you work from home you're not doing no work. What they fail to realize is when you work from home, sometimes your house can feel like a prison because you're there all day, especially as a call center person. I would be sitting there for 8 hours with a 15-minute bathroom break. I'm listening to people complain all day. At the end of the day, I don't have any energy to talk to anybody. And it just feels so violating because in situations like those, when you work in a call center, when you're sitting there and you're in the middle of a thought, just say you think about what you want to eat for lunch. Then boom, you get somebody else to just constantly interrupts your thoughts. Like it is a very draining process. And then, the workplace culture of call centers, I feel like is very toxic. Like they treat a lot of the contractors like cattle and herd. You're here to do a job when even though this economy is changing, I also believe that there are people that really want to be serious about their careers. There are people that still want to advance, still want to be promoted. People still have families and people still need benefits. So to even know that there are jobs out there that still, I understand every business has to do what it has to do, but when we talk about these mass corporations that have these budgets and things like that, especially with cutting back on people working from home, it just I feel like that might be a cause that I just start standing up for one day because it's half of my coworkers that I talk to, like half of them drop like flies. I mean, it felt like World War Z. So, like I said, I want to shout out to everybody that comes from that 9 to 5 life. Don't ever think just because you're an entrepreneur that you can't have a 9 to 5 life. You still got to pay the bills. And overall, success doesn't always look like what you think it's going to look like. So you have to trust the process and you have to go through there. But I will say this. Never stay stuck in a situation that you can really get yourself out of. You be surprised what you can do. And I'll tell you about what I did to get myself out of this situation a little bit later. But when we come back, I will have Tina B.A.T.L. and the whole crew of The Shell of a Man. It's Friday Night Lights, one-on-one TKO Radio. We are the People's Plug. Don't go nowhere. Building Happy Friday. It's your girl. I am Chelsea Speaks, and we are back in the lab. What better way to spend your Friday night than doing what you love and people that you can't stand? No, I'm playing.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Listen, I gotta, ruffle feathers. Back in the lab, it is the Women Are Dope show. For those who don't know, I am the founder, owner of 101 TKO Radio, as well as the founder of Women Are Dope, 2 times published author as well. So this platform is all about highlighting businesses, individuals, those that are truly walking in their purpose, doing all things dope, all things women, and now apparently men too. So without further ado, I am sitting here with a super dope crew. Put your hands together for some of the shell of a man. And Tina B in the building. Why is it that culturally, as a people, we know when them sound effects come, everybody just start?
I don't know. Why do we do that?
I don't know why we do that.
And when we dance, we got to rib you up. You be really get.
Listen, don't get a good clap on the time. A good clap. Once I get my clap in, I'm doing everything I shouldn't be doing. Listen, I am super excited. I did some research on the shell of a man. We're going to start with a little game first, okay? Y'all ready?
Okay.
I'm going to ask y'all all a question. You got 3 seconds to answer as quickly as you can. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with you, Steve. Yeah. All-time celebrity crush.
Gabby Union.
Okay. Gabby Union. All right. We'll give him that. Give him back.
I got more, though.
Who else you got? Lord, who else you
By
got?
Lathan, Mary, my wife.
Please, Mary. Right. You got to go home with her. Hey, Miss Mary.
It's a love seat now already.
All right, Tina, who you got? Who was your all-time celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Ricky Smiley. Weird, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't know
Look,
why. Look how you look. You was like. I don't know.
I done heard a lot of things. I'm thinking you can say
Really? Mike, what?
Okay. Well, we
I
said
don't know.
we
I
said
think it's kind of
celebrity.
like intellectually-ish.
Challenge.
Whoa. Whoa.
No, he is a creative person in his own right.
yes.
You know, my favorite role is, of course, Friday After Next. We played that Christmas, the Santa Claus.
Oh.
That's one of the best ones. That's one of the best ones. All right, what about you? Who is your all-time celebrity crush?
It would probably be Idris.
Thank you. Give her, because that's my answer. Idris Elba. Yes, sir. The British, you know he a DJ, too?
You
Yes.
see, they go by looks, y'all. I'm very deep. You understand?
He is a very cultured man, I'll have you know.
His voice is deep. Girl, get out of here.
He's deep. His skin complexion. Anyway, we gonna keep on. The man is a master.
Okay. He's a masterpiece.
All right, who you got for your all-time celebrity crush? You can grab the mic.
Gotta get a mic.
Don't be scared. Okay, classic. Yeah, I was
Right.
just
There's
gonna
the
say,
difference.
like juice Omar Epps, or we talking about like
Drinking juice. Oh my.
the old.
Okay, the old.
Okay, they big
Oh,
and
yeah.
round.
They are big and round.
Thank you.
They are.
They look like the dude in the club that when he take his sunglasses off, you're like, oh, I see why you had them on.
You know what?
But you'll take Omar. Okay, all right, we'll take that. All right, who you got? Who's your all-time celebrity crush? Yes. Halle Berry, classic. Okay.
Not only is she beautiful, but she's very talented.
She is. She's one of my favorites. What role of hers is one of your favorite ones?
Me.
Why?
She did what's the movie she did with the brother that played in Cosby Show?
Which one? Not
I can't think of it.
not losing Isaiah. No, not Monsters Ball.
It's one of her older projects, but it wasn't Monster. It was
Okay.
actually one of her older projects.
Okay.
That she and I just
Babs?
think that she's like
Right, that was
so-
my favorite.
You talking about Babs?
That was the
No,
best
it
one.
wasn't that one. No, it's one of her older ones.
Halle,
Okay.
You say Halle Berry?
Yes.
She played in something other than Babs before Babs?
Yes, Tina.
Oh, that's you
Yes.
talking about.
Did she?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
She's done a bunch,
Yeah,
but they
she's-
all about
she's a
taking people's
beast.
kids and people taking her kids.
Oh,
Every
wow.
movie she got, somebody's kids is
Now, she
missing.
was awesome in The Call.
Yes.
The Call. Yeah.
But the plot was a little predictable, though. It was a little predictable. But I
was.
think most projects nowadays are predictable. Unlike the shell of a man. Can we get to the real thing?
Wait, we didn't get Mary's
Mary,
crush.
Miss Mary, you got give Mary the mic. Come on, friend.
Mary crush.
Who
Who's
you
your
got?
crush?
Who? Come on.
Washington.
Okay, now, Denzel.
I like the walk that
The old or the new Denzel?
There we go.
both.
Both
Well,
of them. Both of them.
Both for. But you know what? I liked him too. I liked him too. I saw his butt. He got a big old butt.
I like that.
No,
As
no.
long as he got man
It's
hips,
cute.
though.
Yes, he got man hips.
It's a difference. Y'all know that
He
episode of
do.
Girlfriends, he had the man.
He got man hips and a big old. You know they really don't show them too often.
He got
whole body.
But he has a butt, though?
Yes, he got man hips. Girl.
Denzel got man hips?
Yes, and big old butt.
Wait a minute. He
Yes.
got a wagon?
Yes.
Mary like,
Man.
Yes.
Okay, all right. We got the first round of questions out the way. And one more question before we dive into it. You ready? You ready, Steve? It's on you. Listen now. All right, here we go. If you had to choose any other career other than what you do now, what would it be and why? If you would choose anything different.
Telling people what to do.
That seems like that's happening already. It's like in what capacity? Don't say police officer.
Management. Never.
Some management?
Yeah, management.
Okay.
A lot of stuff. Dubai, all over the place.
Okay, big accounts, offshore accounts, and things like that. Okay.
Sit down.
Okay. Okay.
sit down.
Have a seat. All right, Tina, what you got?
I would say real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very
Selling
good.
property, owning property, selling it off.
I like that.
Yeah. Real Trumpish.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I'm feeling
gotta
it.
give 'em
I
that.
got the visual, the suits and everything, and closing the deals at the
Yeah,
table.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah, a couple of zeros. M&Ms.
You're fired. You know what I mean? Felt that?
Oh, I do that. I see. You, okay. Oh, okay. So you're into real estate.
I'm in it. Been in it since 17.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take that.
That's why I didn't say that.
He was ready. Okay, what about you? What would you do if you had to choose any other career? What would it be and why?
And you can't say it. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Cause dancing. No. Tina took mine, real estate. And
Okay.
probably gonna shift soon.
I feel you.
Something I'm very, very, very interested in.
Make the shift, friend. Make the shift. Let me get your confirmation. What you got?
But probably just maybe an actress full time.
I love that. I love that for you.
Full time.
Being able to truly just go all the way into your career and not have to worry
absolutely.
about and enjoy the craft itself.
Yeah,
I
because
think
when
we
you're
all
working,
can.
when you're working a 9 to 5, it's kind of hard to shift and make those, especially when something that you're passionate about. But the bills still got to be paid.
You right.
So
Yeah.
I'd rather just be all into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally was just talking about that. All right. What you why you got one mic to yourself? Oh, you baby share. I'm at the back. Okay, what you got? Ready. Okay. I know he did, Miss Mary. I got
He
your
ain't no
back.
Denzel, is he, Mary?
Wow.
Let's see that book.
I feel the love.
Okay. What would you do and why?
I'm like Key here. I'm almost there.
Okay.
It's got a little bit to go, but within the next 5 years, I see myself at the Oscars. So,
What's your ideal role?
I don't have one.
Okay.
I've played a lot of roles as like a detective. I've just now started branching off into like being a doctor. I'm getting ready to play a judge tomorrow.
Okay.
Look at that, a judge.
So,
You better
and
judge.
so, I've been law enforcement. I
Okay.
played a husband, father, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have a set
Just that, yeah.
role because I don't want to be typecast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Full time. I'm almost there though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Miss Mary, what you got?
I just want to make a note that I'm his understudy as the judge.
Oh,
So
okay.
when he's not in town, I play it. So when you going back out of town?
You got food poisoning. I love it. Well, I'm going to go this way. I want us to introduce ourselves. What were you going to say, Miss Mary?
Oh,
Her
I just
ideal
gotta
job.
say I want to be a singer.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
At the Boom Boom Room.
Whoa.
What
No,
kind of singer?
I can't hit a note, but I want to be one.
I ain't mad. Who would you compare? Whose career would you be like? If I could choose somebody's career, what singer career, if you could take it?
I love Whitney Houston.
Okay.
I absolutely
Okay.
love her voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yes. If I could sing like her, I wouldn't be sitting here today. But I am, so we'll move
Yeah,
on.
that's true. You are. Thank goodness. Okay, so Miss Mary, go ahead and introduce yourself for me and let me know what roles you playing. So you play the understudy judge. Oh, you
That's
was
in
playing.
another movie.
Oh, another one. Okay, all right.
I know, I totally confused
I'm
that
like,
whole-
all right. I'm like, what happened?
I am the mother, T. Cool, who has been abused by his mom. So my actions spills over into him, into his ladies or wife. And he's just all messed up. He'd be like, yes, mama. Yes, mommy. Momsy.
He got severe mommy. He got severe mommy issues.
Yes.
Half Atlanta. Okay. All right.
He play mental abuse. That's
Okay.
his,
Okay. All right. And what about you? Tell me your name, your role. Let's get into it.
My name is Ron Godfrey, and we'll be talking about jealousy. Yeah, and she's playing my wife. But
Now, when we say jealousy, coming from which end? From
It's always the men in.
my-
It's all about this play. Is
so
all
the
about
man
the
feeling
men.
jealous.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
Lord.
the one that's jealous. You know, I'm jealous of how she's leaving the house, you know, looking a certain way that I haven't seen her look for me. You know? But yet she tells me that I bought the outfit. Yeah, I bought the outfit, but you still didn't
Wear it for me.
So what's really going on? You know. So,
You paranoid and all that, huh? Oh, goodness gracious. I felt that tension in my little spirit. Like, yeah, it's a play. They about to play to the radio station. We finna do a live.
We are.
A live.
You said you wanted to act, right?
I
Oh,
sure-
we doing that today.
I'm ready.
Don't play with it.
What, mother? No, okay.
He went that way. You're like, oh, no. We'll call you. Don't call us. Don't, please, don't.
Let me stay in my line. Okay, now what about your name and your role, please?
Microphone.
I am.
Gotta be on that mic, girl. We acting
It's
all
all right.
shy from
It's
that
all
thing, girl.
Okay, this is Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
And
Good to
yes, I am.
Mhm.
This is my husband.
I felt that too.
Right.
Yeah.
They be in character. all
Great
the time.
character.
Yeah, but and I play Ron's wife
Okay.
as the jealousy. So and it is about like not so much as me just what I have on, but it's just things like my job. You know, he's saying he's jealous of my job. He's jealous of
kids.
he's jealous
Just
of
your whole
just
overall
my
aura,
whole-
your
my
being.
aura, my
Your
whole
aura.
being,
Yeah, your whole
yes.
being.
my whole being.
Vibe
Yeah.
stiller.
don't feed into that.
I'm picking sides
Right,
already. All right, come on, friend.
My name is Yolandria Montford, and I am the wife of Damian Leaks, and he is the priest.
Ooh. You know, I love how you guys are describing the characters because I'm getting a true feel. Like, I would think you were really, like, a real relationship because the way you just said that,
baby, it's
when you say
funny.
depressed, scale of 1 to 10, how depressed we talking?
We talking to 11.
11.
11.
L-L-E-M. Lem.
And he's very vocal about his reason why. It's something that you feel it because we all kind of have gone through something of the sort from some of the guys or even the mom's perspective. But yeah,
Wow.
the being, you got to be there.
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
You got to be there. You got to be there.
All right, who are you, Steve?
My name is Steve. I'm playing the role of depression. I'm of Damien, and I had another son that got killed by the police.
Oh, you black man mad.
I went depression and didn't even know what it was at 15 years old. I was depressed, you know, taking care of my 4 siblings. Now that I've been in this role, depression is real. It's real, and poor Damien, you know, he got it in the play. He got it from me. He's seen, you know, some of this stuff being inherited. You know, they more is caught than taught.
Yeah.
Depression is real, but I'm not depressed. But that role is depressing.
Yeah, yeah. I love the fact that it's talking about the shell of a man because I feel like for so long, women and our emotions have dominated conversation, and men have not been given a safe space
Girl,
for them to talk about what they're going
That's exactly what I say.
It's true.
It is true.
It's true. There's no safe space like for men to really say what's going on. So when you first sat down to do this project. What
Yes.
was your outside of that? What was your thought process like? What are some of your goals? You're like, you know what? I want this project to have this type of impact.
Well, me and Kiki always riding around to different events, and just at that time I was single, dating different guys, and realizing that it was, kept saying like, what's wrong with me? Why, why do I want to be serious? Why do I want to be in a relationship? And I'm thinking like, dang, girl, I don't know, he's just a shell of a man, honey. And I was like, whoa. And I just sat on it, and I built around that because it was like, you can do everything you can as a woman, but if that shell is not healed, is nothing you can do as a woman. I mean, because and I realized that it went deeper than on the surface, because it was things that their mothers didn't teach them how to be a man, or they saw their dads beating women or dog women, being hoes, So it was like, what am I learning? Where's the platform they learning from? They don't see it, But you got the mothers at home cooking, cleaning, doing
all the niceties,
right? So the
yeah.
girls see that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we want to go by, the picket fence and all that. It's like when you get older, you meet different guys, and you're like, dang, why? I'm doing everything. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning. I got you. Da da da. But they still can't love. They only love you to the capacity that they know how. But they can't love you what you think they should love you, because they don't even know exactly.
They can't. Yeah, they can't. You can't give what you don't have.
Right. They only learned it through you. You know what I'm saying? Like meeting a good woman, they felt that
That's
part
what
of love,
feels
right?
like, or that's what
then they meet
emotion.
another, add a little more to their pot. Of different love. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true too.
That's true.
Right. But it's hard, and what you would just, we never give a man a voice. We always want to shut them down. They try to talk and give their expression about things, and we'll be like, nah, but you said, but wait, but you said, and he's looking like, you know what, just forget it. You ever get a guy just be like, you know what, just forget it.
Plenty
You know
of
it.
them. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we're not giving them a voice. This play gives them a voice. So it shows the issue that they're dealing with, which is depression, jealousy, mental abuse, physical abuse, alcoholism. What's another one? Got dreamer, and depression. So we give them a voice, and then their wives, it shows them how it affects their wives.
Ooh, I love that.
And then at the end, they give a monologue of just them talking by themselves, no interruption, telling you exactly how they feel about the situation.
Come on,
So-
HBO special.
That's
Come on,
it.
Netflix. Let me speak this up real quick.
You know what?
I got the whole visual.
Come on, talk to it. I'm
And
just
I
saying.
love that you said that, because in the messaging of describing it to me, what I find interesting is that men and women process things differently.
Right.
And in the depression, in the pain, in the jealousy, like women, we can try to have conversations with men. They don't process it the same way. So does this play show how men process emotion? Do we have a
Yes.
and kind of just walk me through what writing that out looks like? Because I know there's also some ad lib as well, but
I don't write.
There's no
It's
right.
I thought that's okay. It's all just
unscripted.
straight.
Yes.
It's all unscripted.
Yes. So I don't even know what they're gonna say till that. They don't even know what they're gonna say till that day.
No, I don't want that.
And you know what's interesting is knowing that it's us, because you all agree that you know the line when you hear it.
It's real.
It's like do you just know, or how many times do you have to redo something, say that ain't it, or these are real issues.
It's
I feel
that
it comes
day.
right out.
No,
It's
it's
one and
that
done.
day.
It's
That day.
It's one and done.
It's
Totally
that whatever
unscripted.
they say that day
Yeah.
is what goes.
That's what's going
We
on.
just try not to go over
Only
a certain
thing,
time.
yeah, so
She gives
6
us
to 8
parameters.
minute time. Also tell them to, you got depression, you got this, you got that. So you build off of that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I will let them know, okay, this is what I want you to do to keep it
In perspective.
In perspective, yeah. It's like a conversation. You have a conversation right now. We're gonna automatically go back and forth. You know what I mean? So I like real life situation. I don't like to be, it's fake. and
Too
things
like,
yeah.
No.
because I've dealt with a lot of different plays.
Yeah.
and they be like, you can't. Some things you can't buy, like impressions.
Yes.
Expressions that I know some you can't tell people that. It just come automatically if you say something. You gonna automatically be like, what?
It has to be a real thing, heartfelt.
Yeah, I like it heartfelt.
So how did you
real.
go about choosing your cast for this go round?
Okay, so we started in 2019. In 2019, I just put everybody in the chat that I thought would be good actors.
Okay.
And I said, if you don't want to be here, get out. No, nobody left.
That's real.
So,
But that's dope.
yeah, nobody. It's good. Nobody left, so I went with that cast. I had a different cast when I first started. I had seven guys. It's always try to be 7 guys.
Okay.
7 issues, and then in a couple fell off, and then I get 2 more. Fill in the space and things like that. But the wives pretty much stayed. I think all the wives, but I got a couple more new wives.
Sound
too
like
as
some
well.
wives. We stay around.
Right. And then I
Where we
added
going?
this go round. I added the moms.
Okay.
So the moms just started because I need to know where the sons.
You can't.
Yeah, it was getting it
the
from.
root. Yeah.
So now that's where the mom comes in at and give her perspective
theory.
on mental abuse. He cuss women out and dog women out and stuff like that. But she actually dogging him out and cussing him out. What he
Miss
gets
Mary.
it from. Right.
You?
Yeah. Yeah. Looking like your daddy.
That black nigga.
And then I say, ask the audience, don't he look like his daddy? But they ain't never seen him.
Oh my goodness. I'm just like, I'm clutching my pearls, not my Miss Mary.
But can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Mental abuse is just as bad as physical
If
abuse.
not worse.
It's worse.
The
yeah.
only thing is you see scars on one and the other one you don't.
Right.
You don't. But all the characters, they have some kind of mental abuse going on.
Wow.
But my character is just more full force. But when you see the physical abuse, you be like, dang, should I have mental abuse or physical abuse?
Wow.
Even though they're both just as equal.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I threw it in there.
About my story.
Come on.
I suffered from depression.
Really? What does depression in men look like? Just kind of give me a
It
little.
looks different.
Okay.
With different people.
Hmm.
The way I dealt with it, I shut down. I wouldn't talk a lot. I would cry a lot.
Really?
I would cry, you wouldn't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
And we hold things in. Like I wrote a book called Crying Out in the Dark. It's my autobiography. And I talk about different things that happened that caused depression. And it took me a long time to talk about it because we feel like we can't, because we're scared of being judged, cut off, called weak, and all this kind of stuff. And I was actually told that I cry too much. I need to man up.
Wow.
And I was at a very vulnerable point. So when we're talking about depression and different things like that, like you said, it is a real thing. And I thank God for Tina coming up with this play, so that people can see that we as men, we do have real life issues that we're dealing with inwardly. And when it comes out, you don't know how it's going to come out because we're not given the chance to talk because we're always shut down before we even say boo.
Wow.
We're judged. We're looked at as, because we have this stigma that we have to be strong and tough and not cry in front of a woman. But I let my kids know, my boys know, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you're human.
Well, with my situation is that I was 14 and I was raising 4 other kids up under me because my mother had me at a young age and she was in a motorcycle club. So she used to leave us there. So what I did at 14, I was planning hair, cooking food, everything, beans, whatever I could do. But then when the food ran out, I think the phones were like 5 cents. I got a nickel and I called for the police to help us. And that's when they took us away. So I because my daddy left my mom with 5 kids and she was young, and then he got married to somebody else. So she was depressed. So now I'm really learning about depressed because I was depressed at 15, didn't even know it. I was just
you don't know
pushing. I kept pushing. Now my thing was in my mind is that I'm gonna never be like my father. Me and my wife been married 27 years, been together over 30-something years, but we got 4 kids. But I would, no matter what we went through, I would not leave my kids hanging like my dad did us. I couldn't do that. So at this point now, depression is real. I'm learning about it. I'm really learning about it. And I got this men group called Men's Cry. Men's talk, because we do. We need to get with each other and talk about it, what's going on, but it's hard. You got to find the right people to talk to, the right guys to talk to.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what you call that? A shell of a man.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Y'all better come on with the branding. I love what you said, though, too, to swing it back around to my wives and my mom. as women, we tend to absorb, no matter how old you are, because I'm 38, but I'm dating in Atlanta, so I see a lot of these things. We tend to absorb everything they're going through. So, wives, how does that feel for you in your roles? Just being a healed woman now playing an unhealed role, if you will.
You pull from
Well, it's helping them heal as well.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's making me pull from a time where when I was not healed, and I'm able to tell myself, "Hey, you got this," and then I have something to say back to him because I've healed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can go back into memory of being married for a third of my life to somebody that I feel like I wasted a third of my life with.
That's real.
And so I can go and I have rebuttal, but I also have rebuttal and I got empathy at the same time because most of them are giving us real life, like
that energy, that
right.
yeah.
So you in the moment, I messed around and almost cried. I was like, this man just
said,
told me that.
"Wow."
Okay.
Acting.
And then I gave something back. You know what I'm saying? So it speaks to the healed person I am, but it also gives me an opportunity to share how I got here.
Does it make you look at your previous experience and say, I understand why I had to go through it now that you're in a position where you have to pull from that experience?
Now you finna make me cry because I tell this lady every day she give me opportunity to show people that I'm healed. Like nobody will know I'm healed because I'm always in the back in the booth in the cut in the dark. Like I'm never out in the forefront. I'll help you get out in front.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assist her to the T. All the I's gonna be dotted, all the T's will be crossed. Same when I'm out with her. If I'm doing something with Miss Mary, if I'm doing my own project, I'm always pushing other people in front of me. But this gives me the opportunity to show that I know how to help and that I'm capable of being the person that you all get. Daily.
Showing up as that person. Yeah.
I'm able to say that and be vocal about that. So she'll tell you, I'm always, girl, I thank you.
Yes, she does.
I love
thank you so much because I would never step out. I wouldn't have done this on my own.
Well, they say our gift ain't for us.
Right.
That's
It ain't for us. What about from your perspective playing, the object of jealousy?
And she also
I started. I was
yeah.
say I started when I started out with Tina. I was playing the wife of molestation.
Woo!
And the
the husband.
of the husband.
Yeah, all these issues. The husband,
and the thing about it is, these are real stories. And Tina didn't know when she put us all together
that
the men that portrayed these characters, this was their
Real
lives. So. And not that I have never dealt with a person that had been molested, because this was his story. I had to pull from his place, myself in that situation, to see how he felt, literally being molested at 4 and then at 19, and then him stepping out on me, him cheating on me, looking at it as though. Why we done been together all this time? Am I not enough?
Yeah, internalizing it. Yeah,
now, is it me?
Really being selfish, thinking it's me, and
am I not enough? And then he had to say, well, I had to get to a place to where I had to feel that I was a man. Because I was it was taken from
him, so he's doing all these things to overcompensate
and all of that, to make himself feel like he was a man. So it had nothing to do with me.
It was him. And his voice.
It was him.
Because it was taken away.
Absolutely. So, when I tell you, we cried every single, and like I said, rehearsals, the show, it was, because it's real. It's real life. Yeah. And like you said, you're pulling from it. And now, being in the jealousy situation, I've been in that situation. Where, regardless to what I did,
any type of assurance you try to give, it didn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I love you. I'm here with you. We're together. It didn't matter.
It's not going.
You're still gonna be jealous of me, of the kids, of the of whatever the case may be. So you had to, like I said, I had to look at myself and say, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with you.
This ain't even your battle.
This is not even your battle. This is not your fight. I'm gonna love you, but I love myself more.
Woo.
I love myself more. As they say, you're gonna poop or get off the pot.
Hello.
So, how much of it can you take? Because being that if he's gonna be jealous, that's bringing you down. Because he's all of his pain,
all that aggression.
Yeah,
all
it's
of
coming
his
off all
pain.
You like a
it's-
piece of
it's
tape, just
Yeah.
absorbing all
I'm
of it.
just taking
I
it
know
all
the
in, and then it
The first
reflects.
time that, I mean to cut you out, the first time we did the rehearsal at Brenda's house, everybody looked at each other like, you got something. Because everybody crying, everybody in this mode. We was like, we're going to have, what you call it, psychiatrist.
A counselor,
we had a
therapist on
counselor,
set.
yeah.
For real,
Counselor on
seriously.
set because
You're
I
opening
didn't realize.
wounds,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that,
And
you
if
know.
it's not something that you've gone through personally.
No.
You know somebody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or somebody,
Yeah.
your cousin, your brother, your mama,
Yeah.
your
Right.
uncle, your grandmama, your granddaddy, you.
I feel like it's sad too because culturally, as Black people, you know, I grew up in the church, and these are a lot of issues that go on over and around the church, and we do not talk about them
yeah.
all. We put it under the rug.
Yeah.
We
That
forgive,
rug is
leave it in the
real high.
Lord's hands,
It's a
and
mountain.
we don't even address it. So to know that you are not just opening wounds, but opening areas and doors that have been locked for so long is a truly impactful thing. Like that's a God-given gift. That shows it's a ministry in itself. So I'm curious for you, Miss Mary. Now you play. I got a caller. Oh, we got a caller. Who y'all got a caller?
Okay,
in?
now.
We
Okay.
need-
I'm
okay.
ready for the show. Wait, let me sit up.
Wait,
Hold on.
Okay. Miss Mary, it ain't Denzel. It ain't Denzel. She ready for Denzel. Hello, darling. Marcus. Okay, you ready? Nelly? Caller one-on-one TKO Radio on the line. Who do I have on my line today? Hello? Who is it?
Better than Denzel. This is James C. Thompson. Part of the show, The Man
Oh, that's
Fruit.
close. That's close.
How you doing,
What's
Mr.
up,
James?
I'm doing great. Shout out to the mastermind, Tina B, and the family up there. I'm looking at you guys on my big screen. Y'all are looking great. Loving the show, young lady. Chelsea, you have a new follower. I promise you that.
Thank you.
Nice.
I've already subscribed and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, I'm here. One thing I have to say, people don't give out too much because, you know, we're still selling tickets. We still want the people to come to the show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And JT played. What
But,
you playing, JT?
The first time I got started, I was playing Jimmy Lee, which was an alcoholic.
Jimmy sound like an alcoholic.
Yeah. Now I'm playing Jimmy Lee, and my thing is neglection. In regards to neglecting my wife and my family because of other things that I'm doing.
Wow. I love those names. They're so befitting. Jerry sound like he neglected. Jimmy
know what?
sound like
Jimmy sound like alcoholic.
Jimmy alcoholic.
Wow.
But
Neglect
just
is
saying,
real. We just
you know,
added
listening
that
to
one
everybody
to the
speak about
story.
the emotional challenges of the show. As Tina said, when we first started doing these rehearsals, we all realized, like, wow, this is not just a play. This is something that is actually going to help. This is something that's actually going to do something for people. We knew that we had something, and the way we do the play, because we're so close with the audience, they get to feel it also. It is very emotional once we come off the stage. We're in the back hugging each other, trying to get people to be able to go back out for the curtain call because it is so emotionally charged.
Behind the scenes is something different.
And just like everyone said, it is a lot of things that's in this play that some of us has gone through. Me, I'm a child of a single mother. Of course, there was a father involved, but he left at an early age. And my thing about everything is about making sure that we can still succeed, not using the excuse of not having a father in the home. I was actually going through something this last time that we did the play. Nobody else knew about, and I kind of had a breakdown myself. But it was great. I needed it all.
Yeah.
So I want to say anybody that is looking at this thing on YouTube, make sure that you come out. Go ahead and get your ticket. Because if you haven't been through it, I promise you, you know somebody that's going through it. Ladies, come see this play because then you can see some of the characteristics of some of the demons that or traumas that some of us hold in about our trauma. We'll keep it in and lash out. But until we get somebody to actually see it, recognize it, and put it in our face, we're probably going to keep holding on to it. So, and then what you're going to keep getting.
I know that's right.
There you have it.
Better brand.
You better say
Brand.
that, Brandon.
I told you it was better than Denzel.
Listen, thank you for calling in. Please stay locked in for the conversation. We are just now touching the tip of the iceberg. When we come back, we got some more people coming in, some more cast members from The Shell of a Man. And if you are a man, you should be watching. Women, you should be watching. Lock and Load, 101 TKO Radio. It's your girl, I am Chelsea Speaks. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay right there.
The way we move, skin on the skin, no separation, ain't no competition.
On TK already, we are back in the building with some crack. No, I'm playing. Listen, I just had the pleasure, me and Nelson had the pleasure, and Rod too, the pleasure of tasting your crack cookies. Now, you know, I have a lot of people that bring different products to the station, things like that. They always want me to try. And I'm not a fan of oatmeal. It's not something I eat.
Right.
But for those that are listening, when I took a bite into those crack cookies, my whole, because what you think of a cookie traditionally, that's not it. Like, that is a masterpiece. Like, I would see that on a cooking show, like when they tell them to whipple like a little dessert or something.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm still chewing. I don't even know what to say like this.
Right, the flavor lingers.
It does.
Definitely in my tooth in the back and the booth in the front.
It makes me feel as nostalgic as a Werther's candy sitting in church. You know what I'm
I know
saying?
something-
And when I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
get a little caramel square, used to go to the
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
The blue can
The
with
blue
cookies
can.
on the inside and the little white paper.
You know what? I always got the nasty ones out of that one. That was never a good look for me. Listen, we are back with some of the crew from The Shell of a Man, having an amazing conversation. We were talking about the women and the wives before, but I want to talk about the mom. How does it feel for you, Miss Mary, to be evoking that role as a toxic mother, and now shedding light onto what I think a lot of people don't talk about is mom toxicity.
Where they get it from.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Giselle, listening.
I have to say when I first did the play or rehearsal, Tina gave me the character I was playing, and she said, "Mary, I really need you to bring it." And I was like, she didn't know that I went through that in my own personal
See what I'm
life.
saying? I don't.
I went through the mental and the physical within my home
Oh, wow.
with my parents. But as we know, those things affect the kids.
Yes, they do.
Like the mother takes it to the son. The son is like a hereditary thing, but not really. It's something you choose to do, right? So playing the mom, to me, once I got a grasp and put my personal feelings away, but not really, because you need to
You
bring
still gotta-
that so you can feel that that character can be real to people. So finally, I told myself it's not real again.
Wow.
Not real again. So that I can portray the character in the light that she wants me to portray it.
Yeah. She was so nice. I'm like, no, you gotta get
I'm like,
ugly. You
that's
gotta get
Miss Mary.
nasty. You
I'm
gotta
like-
cuss him
I'm
out.
having a hard time digesting, but that's what acting is.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And she brought it.
Wow.
So yeah, I like the character because, and the reason I like the whole play is because it's helping people. You know, I can call my son every name in the book, but that doesn't change how he's going to treat his wife if it's negative. And so she get the brunt of
All
of my emotions from when I was married to his father, but I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah,
So,
but speaking to that role.
yes, the character is very important. All of the characters are important because, like I said previously, every one of them has some kind of mental abuse in it. It's just a matter of whether you
verbal or you.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because culturally, I feel like other races, specifically like Caucasian, they pass along trusts and bank accounts to their kids. Unfortunately, we pass around trauma.
Oh, ain't that crazy?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's
Trauma,
trauma, health
trauma,
issues, and
yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
But I love the fact that a shell of a man is not just giving you the shell of a man. You're going internally down to the root, to the mom, and that's something I feel like even if we know a man is depressed, we'll stop right there. We never seem to dive deeper there. So when you sit down and you watch all these key players come into place,
Yeah.
what are you thinking as you're seeing them process these emotions for you kind of being, because you still have to be able to kind of move and shape. So how are you able to kind of move through those emotions?
The first couple of times I didn't watch it. Of course, I'm running all around the place. But the third time I watched, because we ran this 9 times, 10 times just last month? Last month.
Okay.
10 times this stage play. But
Wow.
about around the third time, I decided to sit down and just watch it. I finally got a staff to help me run everything.
I know that's
so,
right.
so I was able to,
You
she's
gotta say that
part
with
of the
your
staff.
staff.
So I was able to sit down and actually watch it. And I'm sitting there like, this is good. Who wrote this? You know what I mean? Because it was just amazing because everything they came up with was right then. You
Yeah.
know, it was not, I can only guide you so far, but whatever you come up with that day is what they come up with, you know.
I love that.
And it was so powerful. You know, there's so many people in the audience that just love it because they're like, oh, I'm alcohol and then I'm mental and then
You
I'm
pulling
physical.
out what you are,
Yeah, they are conversations on the way home. You know, because the wives are like, which one are you? Or, you know, you're the alcoholic. And then you want to cuss me out, then you want to beat me. So it's like, really, that's how I act? Now he's seeing himself outside of himself. You know what I mean? So you have that, and then you have the women, like, I've dealt with all 7 of those guys.
Could be in the same person, too.
Yeah. So, you know, you were helping a lot of people on the way home talking about different conversations about what they just saw. Or they're coming up to the characters and say, hey, you know what? That was me.
Wow.
You know? And Molestation got a lot of hits when they did that of guys coming up to him saying,
Really?
Yes. Yes. So many guys came up to him and was just like, thank you. Yeah. And
So-
his dad didn't even know, right? You got to talk in
The first time we did that play, that was the first time his dad knew about that, and
And it was a pastor.
it was a relative, and then it was a pastor,
Oh, my Lord.
and then the fact that his dad sitting there in the audience had no clue that this was going on. When I tell you, there was not a dry eye.
That was the first show.
That was It was
amazing.
over 200 people at that first show. And it was literally standing room only
Wow.
at that first show. You know how you can go to a play and you're like, well, I've seen that before. You know, I'm like, you have people that have been to each and every one of our shows because
You're going to get something
it's
different.
unscripted.
I was finna say it's unscripted.
It's unscripted.
So you're never
you
gonna get the
cannot
same thing.
You cannot get the same. You can't get the same thing.
Right.
So do you change out the different issues that they're dealing with each time you do the
The
show?
only one was JT who just called in. He was
Okay.
alcoholism.
Okay.
And it's another guy playing alcoholism now.
Wow.
We took out Dreamer. We did have Dreamer, the guy who's these big dreams, but in the meantime, things
Don't
get cut
fruition
off.
nothing,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did have that. We took that one out and put alcoholism in and put neglect in.
Wow.
Because neglect is big. A lot of people don't realize your man is working a lot and doing a lot of things, but he's not taking care of the home as a wife. He paying the bills and stuff, but I want to be
as a person, he
yeah,
still
but smack me
deserves to
across the
be-
butt a little bit. Talk to me, you know.
Yeah.
Ask me how my day. Really, Steve? Ask me how my day. You're on camera. Mary.
But it's true though, men are still
Yeah.
people. They're, I don't want to say little boys growing up, but they still need that validation, that reassurance, those things as well. So I'm curious for the men, how do you feel looking back on the traumas you've been through and now seeing yourself being a voice for that? Does it make you kind of look at what you've been through and say, you know what, I see why I had to go through that?
Yes, and I can honestly say for me, I don't look like what I've been through.
Hello.
You know, I can relate to the molestation myself. I wrote about
Wow.
it in my book.
Wow.
My experiences came through a babysitter. I was 6 years old,
Wow.
and I held all of that in five, maybe 5 years ago, when I wrote the book. And writing my book was very therapeutic for me. There's a lot of things in there that my mother didn't even know until she read my book. So, you know, again, it's important that people know we may look strong, we look courageous, but behind the curtain, there's something. And Shell of a Man, when you come to this play, you'll find out.
Wow.
And you'll find yourself as well, the watcher.
Yes.
On that, before I get to you, Steve, we got another caller. Y'all got the hotlines going up. Caller, let's go ahead and bring this
Yes,
next caller in. 101 TKO Radio, this is the Shell of a Man. Who we got on the line? Hello?
Hey, world. My name I'm actually a part of that all-star cast you got there.
Hey,
And I just wanted to call in because I was trying to get there, but couldn't make it. Hey, what's going on, family?
Oh, you the problem. What's going on?
No. It started with my mom. But yeah, it's nice that you guys, you know, everyone sounds great, you know, doing a good job representing and trying to, you know, put the show out in the air. I'm excited about it as always. So you guys come out and see it, man. You guys been listening. You hear the staff, you hear the crew. Like Tina said, she got a staff now. She gets to enjoy the show herself. Because like when we first started, that was definitely not happening. But and my mom's, she gave away too much. But I don't want. We'll talk about that behind
That's your
closed
mama.
doors. But yeah. So it's a great feeling to get ready for another.
I love it, love it. Thank you for calling in. All right, Steve. what
Any
you-
questions for me? I mean.
Oh, you want to? Oh, you want a question? He want a question. So you gonna tell? Hold on. I give you.
He played mental abuse, but he is such a gentleman.
I'm trying to be there in
So
person.
TC, let me
Yeah.
ask you this: are there pieces of your life that resonate with you in this role? Just kind of briefly, like how has this experience been for you, being in a mental abuse role from your mother?
It's been kind of therapeutic, honestly, because I was actually raised by my grandmother down south in Alabama, so I went through a lot of physical and mental abuse from that. And you know, just it was first therapeutic when I first started doing it. I didn't really want to do it because I figured I was coming out of myself, and I fell in love with it. So I think that what I went through allows me to emotionalize and compartmentalize what I need to bring to this character when it demands for it. Because I've had 4 different wives, and they've all had different concepts, and I've had to adjust. I've never had a mom before, but I'm excited to have Miss Mary Lane, so let's make it happen.
I love that. Well, we looking forward to seeing you come in action. I know it's easy to give away all the secrets, so we gonna put it back in the logs. But TC, you got to come on down to the show next time. All right, my brother.
I will make it. I will make it. I guarantee that. So you guys have a great night. It's a great show. I'll continue to listen.
Thank
Safe travels,
you.
Steve.
Bello.
All right, brother.
My brother Steve. Talk to me.
I can relate to most of all the things in there, all except molestation, because I was the oldest, and I was like a lion. I protected them. I was so protected them, and as my kids grew up, I protected them, man, because I grew up in the streets of Atlanta, and I knew what was going on. I was back there when they was talking about booty man, whatever they used to call it back then. Yeah. So I was very protective of them. I didn't play, and my kids growing up, you don't sit in nobody's lap. I didn't play none of that, and that stuck with them with their kids, you know. But depression, the role of depression, is really sometimes I have to debrief. Because when I think about my life, you know, I'm 60 years old this year. When I think about my life, I went through a lot. I thank God I'm still here because of the stuff I went through, you know? And it just, it's grace and mercy. Sometimes I feel like you said, cry because it's real, man. It's real. Then I had to raise my family and then have nobody to teach me how to do it, you know? And I learned a little bit from this pastor, that pastor. What saved me was going to church. I started going to church. But sometimes church ain't the answer because somebody going to give you this, somebody going to give you that.
The church
and
is
you
a
gotta
hospital.
you got to learn this for yourself. You got to learn. And I had to learn this. I had to learn all of this for myself. And some of it I took from my pastor, some of it I took from this pastor. But I never got anything from my dad. So I got a guy now I call Pops. He from New York. Never called nobody Pops. But this guy here, I look at his style. I look at what type of man he is and how he raised his kids. He was there. And that he's a doctor, and that retired doctor. And that's what, I look at that and I said, now, that's a good role model. So that's how I planted, the seed was planted in me through other men that was the good guys. I learned something from a lot of guys, man. And I still get honor where honors due.
I like that.
And I want to thank Tina for, you know, this. I'm a newbie, like I said, I'm a newbie. This is my first time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did a little comedy with people. But comedy is nowhere
nothing
near
touching on this.
like this. And I thanks for the opportunity to be sharing with man. I pray we go all over the place with this because I call you because we need to hear it. Our people need to see this and really see it, you know.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love the conversation. And as we prepare to wrap up, this is encouragement for so many women as well to be able to sit back and process what men are going through, especially women, you know, in this era, because we tend to absorb, like the dating pool is terrible, but it's probably bad because these are some of the issues that men are dealing with. And I know a lot of my homegirls, we tend to internalize things. So no matter what age you are, that really fit home. So if you could tell me one quick takeaway that you've gotten just personally for yourself from the shell of a man, what would it be? And we'll kick it off with you. Why?
Oh, she said it right, y'all. I think one takeaway from me is grace. Giving myself grace, and also allowing people the opportunity to bask in it for however long it takes them to get it together for them. Like I can't judge your time on you, reaching whatever goal you have, and it's not me that deal with it. Now you have to deal with me, but I don't have to deal with whatever your internal issue is. So giving grace.
I love that. Rod, what you got?
I'm going to say patience, because you have to be patient with not only with the person that you're with or dealing with, but with yourself. Yeah, because everybody's going through something, and if you really love that person, you'll be patient with them. So I'm going to say patience.
That's heavy. Heavy. What about you, Kiki?
And along with that patience,
Go and get your mic.
Oh, shoot, sorry. And along with healing, you got to be able to heal within self first. That way, once it's being shown, then other people around you will be able to start healing from where, because you're going to speak on it.
You're going to move and act on it.
Absolutely. And if I can heal from it, you can heal from it.
I know that's right.
So we can take that along with us.
I love it. Come on, Miss Mary. That's my partner.
Well, what I'm getting out of it is that you have to meet people where they are. You can't change people. You can't make people do anything. You meet them where they are and just let them know you're there for them, because sometimes people don't want you to help them at that moment.
That's true.
At that moment.
Very true.
So you can't force yourself on people, force a conversation. Just meet people where they are and Sometimes that means a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Tina, I'm gonna save you for last.
Okay.
Steve, what you got?
Being in this play, it's like a light. It was like a light, like a bright light. It just hit me about everything that we talking about. And the best part I like about being on a script is that you can feed off the next person. And that will make you great. You make them great, they make you great. But it was the light that came off that all this stuff I've been going through in life, I can really focus now, and I can, when it comes, I can deal with it.
That's real talk. I like that. Come on, Tina.
I'm going to say, from the words of Escape, what I need from you is understanding.
All right, man.
Understanding, honey. Just being patient, being kind, being calm, being peaceful, being. It helped me in my relationship. Like I said, I was single at the time, but it helped me understand men more because they just want that time when they get home from work, about 30 minutes just to, decompress, get themselves together, give us a little something to eat, then listen to your day. You know what I mean? But we want to, the girl at work was tripping. You know what I'm saying? We want to just get on top of them. So it taught me how to kind of be a little more patient and understanding what they want.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you also mentioned you're in a relationship because I feel like as a high-performing, overachieving woman, a lot of times they make it seem like we have to choose between our career and a relationship. Like we can't have both. Like we can't carry more than one sword. So I like that you acknowledge, hey, before I wasn't, now I am, because it shows we don't have to choose, and we can be both fervent in our purpose and fervent in our relationship at the same time. So.
Right.
I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank
now,
you.
where can we get these tickets? Because everybody keep telling us we talking too much.
Can
Oh.
I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
I just want to shout Tina Bridges out because she's an amazing producer,
Give her a
director.
round of
Thank you, guys.
And she has so much patience with us.
I love it.
Which makes you want.
Yes.
I like that.
I thank you for that.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Me too.
You said, okay, we're going to put you on the acting stage right
I'm
now.
ready.
Ron, you act against her.
Sometimes I feel sorry.
All right.
Take 'em up.
Because she's getting on my
Okay.
nerves now.
Okay, so she got a promotion at the job and you don't like that. You jealous of that. Go.
Stop watching, Nelly. You laughing over in the corner. Hey, honey, guess what? You know the job I told you about, right?
okay.
So, yes,
What about it?
I got it.
Good.
Oh.
So what does that mean?
What do you mean?
More time away from home, huh?
Babe, this is what we said we wanted. We have plans. I thought this is what you wanted.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm happy for you, yeah, but
You
I
don't
mean,
seem like it.
I mean, but that means it's going to be more time away from me than it is spent with me. We having those kind of issues, you making time for this person, that person, this thing, that thing, and I'm sitting here just like a bump on the log.
When you met me, you told me that you love my drive and my ambition.
And I do.
What's changed?
There's no drive this way. That's what changed. All your drive is going that avenue, that road, that boulevard.
Oh.
Here I am sitting here at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Oh.
I mean, well, somebody has to pay the bills, but
They're getting paid. So what you saying? I'm not able to pay them?
Are you really gonna make this moment about that? About you? Really about us?
No.
When has it become about us? When has it been
It's
about us?
always been about us.
You know what?
That's why I took this job. You said you wanted more money. You said you wanted to travel more. Your mother's always calling your phone.
What does my mother? Whoa! What does my mother have to do with this? She's not interfering with nothing
You
with
said
us.
you want to take more vacations so you can get away from your mom, so we can have time for us. Remember?
Yeah.
So this job, it pays for travel, stay. We can have that lifestyle we've been talking about. I don't understand the problem.
You wouldn't understand. I've been trying. I've been trying, but you know the problem? You haven't been listening. You hear me, but you're not listening. So, good luck on your new position.
And sing.
finna cry for real. I was like, this ain't nothing to make me cry.
Right.
I was like,
Drop the mic.
Girl.
He in the cul-de-sac.
That was so good, y'all.
how does it feel getting into that emotional?
Do you see
state?
that?
How quick you got there, though.
Yeah.
Got the deodorant on, baby. I mean, when I say I felt, you know what?
Yeah.
It is the energy you feel from the crew. Like,
Yes.
you really pulled. Like, I had to go there. Like, well, like,
I'm gonna
It
pull
makes
it
you
out.
think.
yeah, like you.
That's
like,
what I'm
But
saying.
it makes you think.
It makes you think. What would I say? What would
And
I
then the
do?
crowd.
And this
producer
the
on here
and when
that
you
I've worked
have
with in the expression
chemistry,
2 years.
even though y'all just met,
That
it's
was-
just like being on set. The chemistry, when you have chemistry with your counterpart, they're gonna pull it each and every time. When you went here,
Yeah.
You made all of us. I was like, wait.
Whoa, whoa. We was like, wait a minute.
we knew you were coming from a place of realness.
When she did that, it shifted me to fifth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you meant
come
business.
back.
I said, okay.
He had to
took
come back
her
in.
in.
He had to come back
That
in.
was good. That was so good.
She grabbed my hand.
You're right. That director went into play.
That gonna make me feel better.
I've been saying that's
No,
perfect.
but here's the thing, though. How we was, that's how close they are to the crowd. So the crowd actually be, no, girl, I wouldn't do that if I was
But
you.
what's
And you be
crazy-
like, well, I'm going to do it.
But
You know,
even
they
with
talk to
that,
the crowd and everything.
You
so.
guys are so locked in. All I saw
Was
us
him.
in the kitchen.
Yes.
having a
Me,
conversation.
right.
Absolutely.
Every single, like, it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
went there in 0 to.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
And you will. Yes, ma'am. You will.
Got there?
No.
You see how quick and so.
I'm over thinking of kids.
So we only have 6 to 8 minutes, right?
Wow.
So my first initial thing when she was like, Yolanda, this, I was like, 6 minutes?
And we did this in
Take
what,
me 6
6?
minutes.
Yeah,
to
about
get
6
warmed
minutes.
up.
Probably
That
about
felt
6
like the
minutes.
longest 6 minutes of my life.
Right.
Like, my chest is
but
heavy.
you got so much across
I
where
did.
we feel your pain and we felt his.
Did y'all
So
feel
at the now all you had to do was be like, this makes me feel like this. I need more from you.
And then
I
you
got
walk
I
away.
just got a a graduation to something
Yeah.
big, and you're knocking it down.
is what
you
you
know
do.
what? I'm gonna go take a shower and I'm gonna think about this, and it exits you out of the scene, and then he comes in and do his monologue by himself of telling how he felt.
Yeah.
So you go. So can I have a part? I
Yes, ma'am.
want to get in.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, at least maybe Mary's daughter. or
You're
somebody.
Yes, ma'am. We got you. You're in. You may be in the show July 20th, okay?
Listen, where can we get tickets? Tell me.
The
We're
show-
the next rehearsal.
You know
I'm
what?
divorced.
Oh,
You just
what-
rehearsed.
I'm mad already. I'm gonna go home driving. Nigga, this would even happen for me.
What damn cul-de-sac? She looking for the cul-de-sac.
What's the problem?
You wanted to
It's always about you, boy. It's always about you.
Don't raise your
I
voice
am
in
not
my
your
house.
mother. I'm not your mother. I know that. I'm not your mother. No,
He
your
done went to
ex-wife.
mental abuse.
I'm not your mother. No, your ex.
Mom dead. She not studying a winning game. Mom dead. Come on.
That part. Oh, wow.
It's almost
Okay.
hard to get out of it, like 'cause
Yeah.
it's emotionally charged.
Yeah.
It's
But
not.
see, that's
Yeah.
what actors need to do. When we finish a project,
Get the
you
mic.
need to take time. You need to take time to decompress from
Goodness.
that character before you go to the next.
Oh, we got a share right there.
Because
Which
you
one
gotta
you
have
relate
time
to?
Come out of that.
Which one you
Which
relate
one you
to?
relate to? What you relate to, Nelly? Chilling, man.
You got mental, physical, jealousy, depression,
Nelly's so
alcoholism, dreamer, neglect.
I feel like you hold.
I've been in my past like neglect.
Okay, that's real.
I spent a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, just trying to do good for others
Mhm.
and not really
Neglect
focusing.
yourself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that people don't realize that's big though.
Yeah,
And this
Because
is
a lot of people feel
the
like
shell of
I'm
a
at
man.
home.
yeah.
No,
Nah, you can be at home.
You can be
What's
at
that
home.
stranger
you
in
can
my
be-
house. Deborah Cox said it best.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
Now,
Let Mary sing it.
I used to think it was a break-in. Now I realize, no, that wasn't what she was talking about. When she
There's a stranger in my house.
That's her singer. Remember she wanted to be
my
a
skin
singer.
voice.
That's Mary Earl. That's Mary Earl right there.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
absolutely.
This is what you call
The shell of a man.
Listen. Before we get out of here, where can we get tickets? How can we be involved? I will definitely be there front and center. I would love to be a part. You let me know what you need from me.
Honey. Eventbrite.com, Uptown Comedy Corner, July 20th, 3 p.m. Be there. It's on Virginia Avenue in College Park, Georgia.
Okay.
Y'all got me crying.
Nelly, we might have to go ahead and just get him a complimentary live remote and come broadcast that y'all play and just,
that's what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am.
We'll bring some people and come set up and do our little live remote thing. Now, I'm be acting, but they gonna be.
And they okay?
Girl, don't start.
I'm gonna put you in it for real. Don't play.
Well, you look for the Lord first.
Right. That'd be cute. Don't play with me. I will put you. But you know what? It's crazy because she said this on when we discussed coming here, and she was like, I want to act or whatever, and I'm like, okay.
But you know what though? My major, the first time I went to college was actually dramatic arts. So I started in theater and then went into music.
Yeah,
but
you're good. I can tell.
Life has happened to me the same way that it's happened. I have my, of course, my stories too. So to be able to tap into something that's perfect, you let me know what you need. I'll make it happen.
I do the shell of a woman as well.
Listen, I play either way it go. I'll be the daughter, the stepdaughter. Listen, you let me know.
I got you. You in there?
Yeah. I'm in there.
July 20th, 3
Do it come
p.m.
with crack cookies?
Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
No,
Wait a minute.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, I could be her sister.
Of the jealousy.
Kiki, why you keep dealing with him?
Ooh.
And then you side eye him and her. And
hey, Roy.
And then y'all hold hands and rub elbows on the way
Listen, this. I knew you was a problem. You've been in the dome. Now we got real life beef. Because you ain't happy for me. We got real life beef in these streets. It just let the stage play. I'm out in the parking lot.
Right. Wait, no. What was that?
You
My head scarf.
Right.
I'm sitting on your trunk, so that's how you really
In the cold. Look, in the cul-de-sac.
What kind of shell you working on?
Right. Wait, where you from, Chelsea?
Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
I'm a country girl. I'm a country girl.
He was like, yeah.
I'm a country girl, pastor's daughter, all that and then some. Yep.
Yeah, you got some stories.
I don't think it's. I'll put it as lightly as possible, but I don't think there's anything you said at this table that I haven't been through, and I'll leave that there. I'll leave that right there. That's what my first book was about. And I just to wrap it up, I remember my parents telling me, "I don't believe God told you to write that book. I don't believe He meant for me to go through it. However, I made it through, and so my molester is still around me. My mom stayed with him. So I had to forgive him, but I have a better relationship with him than my dad. It's a whole It's a whole layered situation that because most people have the option of their molester comes and goes, not mine. So I resonate.
So do you think it's a Stockholm though?
No, I don't think so. I think I was just blessed to go through something, and when we say forgiveness, sometimes we tend to put a cap on it. There's no cap on God's forgiveness for us. And so for me to be able to forgive someone and still have a relationship after he apologized and admitted is a powerful story. And so I can look at it, I can speak to it in a different way. And I was also able to look at my mom and see her as a woman, the shell of a woman. Because I'm like, okay, you probably went through something you may never tell me about, but I'm woman enough now to understand you still doing some healing too. So that grace, that patience, all the things that you said, I
understand. Oh my goodness.
That's the story of my life in a nutshell. So
that's deep.
Wait a minute.
Oh wow! Here we go.
But Chelsea, just to speak to that real quick, not to say so much as that it's a custom of the South, but that molestation in most families, I'm Memphis. I'm one step above you, one step
it runs
to the
rampant.
Left. And my family was like derived from Arkansas. So, you have that mixing and commingling and cousins with cousins
especially,
and all kinds of stuff. And so it's not frowned upon. It was not frowned upon then. Only when you realize that it's not right as like me as a human, when I realized that he wasn't supposed to do that to me, it's in my book. When I realized that, I was like,
this ain't how it's supposed to go.
This ain't how that's supposed to go. Like, we got the same.
Yeah, Yeah, how we playing house?
We playing house. Why are we playing house?
Why are we playing house? And why I got to be the mom all the time?
Right.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Absolutely.
It's real.
And it resonated with me at the age of 37, and I'm 43. So
It's a real thing.
it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
And I'll say this and close it out. That's why I love, this platform because, my business partner, I say all the time, it's not about interviewing celebrities. My celebrities are people like us who have survived and who have been through things and who are making impacts in the lives of others. So I want to salute you all for walking the walks that you did. I'm extremely blessed to have this opportunity. I love when I have guests that give me, I don't know about you, give me energy. They give me energy while I'm throwing it back. So I am looking forward to being at the play. You have the support of 101 TKO Radio, whatever you need from me, and continue to go forward because this is ministry and it's needed what you're doing and everything you went through. It all added up for these moments and it's only going to get greater. So.